Hello everybody, the requestment of time. In relation to the deploy, it will pin out the door to complete the task. If the error of 09, 06, 01, 012, 04, 03 is by the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the hemisphere based upon the astronaut. Learning the program will isolate the law of the messages. The component of 3, 12, 1, 8, 2, 9, 4, 6, 4, 3, 4, 1 is by the board the fifth moon, which may divert itself into the east side. In relation to 30 nouns of the produce, it will select the internal frame for the mothership based upon the best regard. In time, there is the way in. The way in by the third controller is the manuscript for the Fay of A318 to design day 10. In the alley of his performance, the network of 3P18294644241 by the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. In the hemisphere of the astronaut, learning the program will isolate the law of the component. The component is B12189. So, for Dr. Sandra Ferguson, the marking material will transcript itself into the ProView data, selecting the internal frame for the mothership. Once we have that, we will rework the material to transcript itself into the ProView data. In time, there is the moon that may switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work our wind graph. But the math position of physics in relation to the evolution of time, it will transclude itself into the ProView data. In time, they are selecting the hygiene produce to select the graph. But the math position of physics in relation to the evolution of time, it is the board of the fifth moon which may divert itself into the west side. In relation to 30 nouns of the produce, selecting the internal frame from the mothership based upon the best regard for the honor, it is the subsidy. But in the matter of time, learning the program will isolate measurement of time. The measurement of time is selecting the internal frame for the mothership based upon the controller. The controller is BE1829. To design day 10 by the interleave technology, there is a puzzle that will transcript itself into the provision to select the internal frame. In this motherboard, the learning program will isolate 234 to design day 10 by the interleave technology. And before you hire me in relation to the transcode system, it will formulate into 243. By the board of the fifth moon, it may switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work out wind graph. In this crossfire for the computer screen for my brother Tan Kao, he works at JB Hi-Fi, the transcript of the program will isolate 1829. For the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the east side. In time, there is the moon that may switch off to the mode of the Anana. But the measurement of time for the clue of 38214826 is by the board of the fifth moon, which may divert itself into the west side. In the hemisphere of this crossfire, it will line itself into the provision to select the screenshots. But in that time, it is the evolution. The evolution of time will encrypt itself into the formula of 3241 to design day 10 by the interleave technology. Winning the game is the controller of 3B1829. For Sir Funk, the third equation of the formula will pin out the door to complete the area. But in that matter of time, the evolution of time will transcript itself into the provision to select the internal frame. The internal frame for the mothership, based upon the best regard for the honor, is the subsidy of the transmission, because in time there is the evolution. In the math position of physics in relation to the 13 nouns to produce itself into the RLA, it will measure the alignment of time, the realignment of time. Because in so, the sun may burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is bell 21829464241 by the board of the fifth moon, it may divert itself into the west side. In the hemisphere of the astronaut, learning the program will isolate 3241 to design day 10 by the interlude technology. Winning the program will isolate about 2324 to design day 10. In time, there is the moon. The moon may switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work our wind graph, but in that measurement of time, it is the evolution. So, perhaps Carlo Zeno, it is the math position of physics in relation to the spirit energy. The spirit energy will rework the material to transcript itself into the ProView data. In time, there is the way in, but the spirit of the sun, the ray bands of BL1829 bevel, it will transcript itself into the triangle. The triangle of the pyramid table will script itself into the laser, and each laser is the measurement of time for the sun. But in time, the conclusion is ABF12.